Okay, so I suppose like me, you've been watching a lot of the news, okay, and listening to what the government is telling us to do. So obviously they're trying to encourage everyone to stay home and you go out perhaps once a day for some exercise if you're able to do so safely. So what I was thinking was it's important to have fresh air, okay? It's important for both physical and mental health, okay? So in order for you to have some nice things to look at in the garden, okay, well, I'm going to have a go at making some bird feeders. I have made these before with my children, so I've had a little go. There's lots of different versions you can make, so I'm going to have a go at making a few, okay? Maybe you could do this at home, hang them up outside, and hopefully encourage some nature into your garden so you've got something to look at whilst you're out in the garden, in your own little space, getting lots of fresh air. Okay, so first thing then, I have got a lot of fruit that is left over because we're not using them for packed lunches and the kids would rather reach for the crisp packets instead. So I'm going to try and use up some of the fruit that I've got in my fruit bowl. All birds like fruit as well as seeds and nuts, so we're going to make use of some apples. Okay, so I've got this apple. I've found some like barbecue skewers. You could equally, I suppose, use sticks or something from the garden, anything you get hold of really. And then once you've popped them through, okay, they can then be made into a little bit of a carrier for the tree, okay. So in here we want to cut some holes. Now I would suggest you get some help with this because we don't want anyone taking their fingers off whilst in isolation. So I'm just going to cut some holes into the apple like this. Keep all your scraps because they can also go out into the garden. Okay, so do one that side, and I'm also going to do one this side. Okay, dig the fruit out like so. Okay, so you should have sort of a hole on either side of your apple. Okay, so what we've got in here then is some lard, okay? This is stuff I already had from when I've made bird feeders with the kids before. If you haven't got anything like lard, something like perhaps peanut butter or honey will do a similar trick, okay? So we want to add a little bit of bird seed to the lard, okay? I already had this bird seed in my house, so I didn't have to go out for it. But if you haven't got any, and or any nuts or anything, and you need to get some, I would wait until you do your grocery shop and you will find this on like the pet food aisle. Okay, so once you've mixed up your birdseed and your lard or peanut butter, you can find, okay, you then want to just push it into the holes of the fruit, okay, like so. I would advise using a glove if you can because it's very sticky. Okay, so that's one side. And then pop some into the other side, okay? Just press it in, it should stay. All right, hopefully. Like so. Okay, so like that. Okay, so I've just got some wool hair. You can use string, okay? Anything you can find at home. And I'm just gonna tie this in a knot on one end of the barbecue skewer. Like I said, you can use a twig, stick, anything like that. Okay, it's amazing what you can find at home when you have no choice about going out, okay? Just have a rummage. Right, so another knot there. You might need some help with this, it's a little bit fiddly, okay? So you've got your first bird feeder there, okay? So it could be hung, which we'll do in a little while. Okay, so another way you can make a bird feeder is perhaps if you've got any cutters at home, yeah, shapes, moulds that you can press seed into. So I'm going to pop that onto some foil just to stop everything sticking to the worktop. And then with the mixture I made earlier with the lard and the bird seed, I'm just going to press it into the mould, okay? Just gives it a nice shape. And then just keep pressing it in so it's nice and firm, okay? With as much seed as you can get on it. Okay, get into all the corners. Okay, so once you've popped it and pressed it right hard into your mould, you can then slide it out. You can put it in the fridge if it feels like it's not coming out, okay, just to set it a bit longer. So then you're left with a nice shape. Now you could either lie this on a table outside, okay, or you can do like we did with the other one and basically put a hole through it. I would advise going for a hole through the middle rather than the outside, okay? So you could hang it like that, or if you haven't got any sticks to hand, you can use some wool. Okay, so once you've cut your bit of wool to size, okay, pop it through the hole of the shape, okay, pull it out the other side, and then just tie the top in a little loop like so that can be hung somewhere in your garden, like that. Okay, so I realise not everyone's going to have lard and things like that at home, okay, and we don't want you making any special journeys. So another thing you can do is get some toast and toast that off, okay. Once that is toasted, alright, we're going to take it out and then I'm going to show you what you can do next. Okay, so once your bread is toasted, alright, I've run out of lard, so you can use something like peanut butter. I did mention earlier using honey, but actually please don't use honey because I've just realised that it's actually poisonous to birds, so I don't want the responsibility of that. So you spread your peanut butter on, okay, like so. Get a handful of seeds and then smooth them over, stick them down because they'll stick to the peanut butter, okay, like so. You might want to do the other side. It's up to you, okay? Once you've done that, if you then make a hole like you did in the other bits, you might have some seed come off, you can always stick it back on again, okay? Need some more wool, and basically you're going to do the same as what we did with the lard shape and just pop this through to the other side, okay? It's a bit fiddly, like that, okay? Once you've done that, then you've got a string that you can then hang it from, like so. So, the next one we're going to make is using a plastic bottle, okay? Now, with this one in particular, you are going to need a second set of hands, okay? Because it's quite tricky and you have to make holes in plastic. So, I'd advise trying to get a family member to help you, okay? Your parents or carers and support workers, whoever is willing to give you a hand, okay? And just please be very careful, all right, with your fingers, okay? Okay, for our next feeder then, I'm going to use a plastic bottle, okay? This is a bit trial and error because I've never done this before. If you rinse out your bottle, keep hold of the lid. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to make a hole. Now, you're going to probably need some help with this, okay, because I don't want anyone taking their fingers off. So we're going to make probably an incision, oops. So, like I said, get some help. Like that, okay, on one side, okay. Then cut a small snippet. When I say small, I mean very small. What I ideally want to do is stick a spoon through, so an old spoon, okay, and then we want to angle it like that, okay. So I'm just going to make an incision the other side as well. Okay, so like I said, watch your fingers and get someone to help. Let's see if I can do it. Like this, okay, so yeah, definitely get some help with that. Okay, so once you've made your two holes, okay, you're just going to slot your spoon through so it fits quite snugly, okay. Just above this first hole where your spoon's going to be coming out, okay, we're going to make a little hole, okay, so the seed can spill onto the spoon. Made a hole, okay, so as you can see, it's big enough for me to get my finger in, okay, so when we put seed in, it will spill onto the spoon, okay. Whatever you do, don't use your best spoons, find an old spoon, that it doesn't matter if it's outside for a few weeks, okay. You might want to put another spoon in, so you've got a second feeder the other side, which I'm going to have a go at now. Okay, so once you've got your spoon through, okay, so it's just literally through, slotting it from one side. Make sure the hole is, the little hole near the actual part of the spoon is actually a fair size, because obviously you want the seed to actually come out of the bottle and feed out and go onto the spoon, okay? As well as that, I have put some skewers through, one going one way, one going the other, just so the birds have got something to perch on while they lean and eat. Okay, so once we've done that bit, what I've done is I've made some holes, okay, using a skewer. Okay, I've